Canvas offers a variety of ways for you to present content and activities to students. This flexibility allows instructors to tailor their Canvas courses to meet their unique needs, whether they're teaching fully online, hybrid, or face-to-face. This same flexibility, however, can also lead to chaos. When materials and activities are added without an intentional design with the student experience in mind, a Canvas course can be difficult to navigate and actually create barriers to student success. Canvas has built a feature into every course to address this: modules. Modules provide a method for not only organizing course content and activities, but presenting them. It's important to think about it this way. We always want to think about our students' experience of the Canvas course and how they'll find and access each course component. Modules also provide us with the flexibility to modify a course design for various delivery methods. For example, if you teach the same course both face-to-face and online, some adjustments to how the content and activities are presented via the modules allows you to repurpose your Canvas course design and leverage all that time and effort you've already dedicated to your course in Canvas. Let's take a look at a few examples of how we can use modules to present content to students based on a few different scenarios. First, let's say I'm teaching fully online. In this scenario, the modules page in my course is basically everything. I'm going to present all of my content and activities in weekly blocks to keep students on track throughout the semester, presenting everything in a logical order, including any content they need to consume and any discussions they'll need to engage in and any assignments that are due. And I'm providing that consistency from week to week. I'm also providing here an introduction page each week. So this would be like the equivalent of me standing in front of my students and telling them what's going on this week, our learning objectives, what chapter to read, what's due, and all of that important guidance we give our students. Now let's say I'm teaching the same course, but fully face-to-face. I'm primarily using Canvas to collect student submissions, use SpeedGrader, and set my gradebook up to calculate student grades. And I do have some digital content that I want students to have access to, but I'm not relying quite so heavily on it in my face-to-face class since I'm in the classroom with my students for hours every week and I'm lecturing, we're having our discussions in the classroom instead of online and all of that. So I'm going to set up my modules a little differently. So I'll add a module for course content that they'll need throughout the semester, and then maybe instead of the weekly modules that I used in my online class, which were so important for pacing and keeping students on track and moving through the course together, I'm going to set this up by unit. So I have 4 units that we work on over the semester, and I add a module for each. And I start with an assignment section, and I'm going to use a text header for this, and then maybe I'm going to add some optional supporting content here. So although I'm not requiring students to read and watch all this content I curated for my online class, I'm adding some of it here, and I'll let my students know, we're learning this in class today and I'm going over everything, but if you want to go deeper or you're not sure if you've really got it, I have these supplemental resources for you in Canvas under Unit 1. And the beauty of modules is we can be really clear about what everything is and organize everything in a way that makes sense and flows and supports students' ability to be successful in the class. We just want to be super intentional about how we set this up. We want to think about usability and how our students will experience it. We don't want them devoting their cognitive load to figuring out what they're supposed to be doing and how to find everything and how they're supposed to be using everything you've added to the site, that whole logistical piece. We want their cognitive load devoted to the course content and activities. So let's hop out of student view and take a look at how to build modules in your course. So the first thing you'll do is go to modules, and you'll see there's this add module button at the top, and you'll first want to start by thinking through how you're going to present the content to students. Then once you have that plan in place, you're ready to go ahead and click this button to add your first module. You'll give it a name and then click add module, and it's going to add it at the bottom. Each time you add a new module, it's going to put it at the bottom, and you'll notice right away that it's not published. So if I'm in the middle of my semester, I can work on building this module out, and nothing in this module will be visible to students until I publish it. So as I mentioned, I like to use text headers. So that's the first thing I'm going to add to my module. And whenever I'm ready to add something to my module, I'm just going to click this plus, this add button right here, and this box will come up. And there's two things that we can do here. We can either create a shell of new content or activities, or we can add content or activities that we've already created to this module. So you'll see that all of the assignments that I've already created in this course are available now for me to add to this module. But I'm going to start with my text header. So I'm going to click from the add dropdown. I'm going to select text header, and I'm just going to type in what I want that header to be. And then I'm going to click add item. And then I'm going to create my next text header, and then click add item, and I'm going to do it for my last text header and click add item. Now I want my modules to follow this pattern throughout my course week after week. So what I can do before I start adding individual items here is I can actually duplicate this module. And what that will do is set up this pattern for me to continue to use throughout the semester. I would just go ahead. You can see anytime you copy anything in Canvas, it adds the word copy to the end because you can't have two things named the same in Canvas. So you'll just want to go in after you copy that module and of course update the name of the module to reflect, week 4 and the relevant dates and get rid of that word copy. But right now I'm going to continue to build out this module. And I did just want to quickly point out that in my modules that I've already built, I use these emoji and we have a video on our YouTube channel that shows you exactly how to do this. So you'll want to go to our YouTube channel and check that video out if this interests you. So once I'm ready to start adding my content, I'm just going to go ahead and click that add button again, and I'm going to select page, and I already have built these pages out. So let's say I know this is the page I want to add here. I'm just going to add it. And then I can just drag it into place. And what I like to do is indent my activities and content just to give it that visual separation a little bit. And you can always find that from this 3-dot menu next to the item. So you can see if I do that, it just kind of gives it that semantic structure and that visual separation so that students are easily able to see and locate and find and understand what it is they're accessing. Once I'm ready to add a discussion, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to click the add button and I'm going to look for my discussion that I already created and click add item. And I'm going to just move that into place. I can always just move things around in my modules by grabbing these little handlebars and clicking. I can also click over here to move the items. If dragging and dropping does not work for you, this is an accessibility feature in Canvas. So I can just go ahead and select where I want this to be if I don't want to use the drag and drop feature. I'm just going to indent this one a little bit, and then finally I can add my assignments. And let's say I don't have the assignment that I'm going to use in week 3 yet, so I need to build that assignment. I'm just going to quickly show you that when I add something to my module, I have this opportunity to create something new. So I'm going to click create assignment and I'm just going to give it a name. And then I'm going to click add item. And when I click in here, you can see obviously I'm going to have to come in here and edit this to add all my assignment settings and everything like that. But it does allow me to create that shell of the assignment right here from the modules page. And I'm just going to indent that a little bit. And just to point out quickly, the other things you can add to a module, you'll see that you can add external URLs, tools, you can add pages here, quizzes, anything you'd create for your students in your Canvas course, you can add to a module. And this is so important because again, it's going to give you that opportunity to present everything in a meaningful order that flows in the way you want students to access so they can keep their cognitive load on your course content. Don't forget to publish your module once you're ready for students to start using it. And when you click that publish button, it'll go ahead and automatically publish everything in your module for you. But you can, of course, always unpublish anything you don't want your students to see. And that's how modules work. I hope you enjoy using them. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful videos like this.